Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for coming to this presentation. So, the topic today is business analysis. So, before I start, let me give you a context about what exactly is business analysis. So, if we take big companies, you have the senior management and the top executives, then you have management, and then you have the programmers, the testers, quality assurance, people like that. This is especially true for the software industry. This is common to most industries, but especially true for the software industry. So the top management wants something. They need to get something done, and they have some requirements. For example, let's say you are a bank, let's say Vijaya Bank, and the top management wants to have a new credit card, new type of credit card. Now that should be displayed in the website. The new credit card, its functions, and what it does, and who it's available to, which language it should be displayed in, all those details. So how does this happen in a big company? Do the executives and the top management, do they actually go talk to the programmers? Do they actually tell them what we need? No, it doesn't happen like that. The top management doesn't come down to the level of the programmers or the testers and go through those motions. That's where the business analyst comes in. So he's the intermediary, the liaison between the top management and the programmers. So he's the one responsible for getting and eliciting the requirements, gathering all the requirements from the top management, and then passing it on in documented programmers. So they exactly know what to program, and then it goes to the testers or the quality assurance people. So this is the process of business analysis. So what is business analysis? Business analysis is the practice of enabling change in an enterprise by defining needs and recommending solutions that deliver value to stakeholders. It helps an enterprise to articulate needs and the rationale for change and to design and describe solutions that can deliver value. So the key point here is describing and delivering solutions that's actually demanded by the stakeholders, that satisfies the stakeholders. It can be performed on a variety of initiatives within an enterprise. Initiatives may be at the strategic, tactical, or operational level. Business analysis may be performed within the boundaries of a project or throughout the enterprise evolution and continuous improvement. So, any organization, if we take a system, we have a current state, and then we have the state that we need to go to, which is the future state. So business analysis helps us in going from the current state to the future state for any system. So it can be also performed within a diverse array of perspectives, which means different types of way of looking at a solution, or different methodologies of implementing a solution. For example, agile, business intelligence, information technology, business architecture, and business process management. So, what role does business analysis have in any company? It plays a role in aligning the design and delivered solutions with the needs of the stakeholders. So, the stakeholders have certain needs and demands, and the solutions that we design, the system that we design, has to actually meet the demands of the stakeholder. Otherwise, it's like driving change and facilitating stakeholder collaboration. So there are different levels to business analysis. You can start from the top and go to the bottom. At the top is the enterprise level. At the enterprise level is where the top priority projects happen. There you have the high level business needs, and the most important projects are happening at the enterprise level. Then you have the organizational level. There are different types of sections are planning to work on something. For example, if you are Microsoft, at the organizational level, you have a team that's working on Windows, or maybe you have a team that's working on Microsoft Office. So these two are different organizational levels. The people working in the Microsoft Office, they are not bothered with what's happening in the Windows section, and vice versa. So this is the organizational level. Then you have the operational level. Operational level is familiar to everyone, which is the marketing department, the finance department, or sales department, things like that. Then at the bottom is the project level. This is where projects are initiated and project management is done. So potential project participants. So when you are working on a project as a business analyst, who are the participants that you can expect to be involved with? Executive sponsor. This is the person who initiates the project. Then you have the product manager. You can have a project manager. You can have the SMEs, subject matter experts, change management professional, technical writer. Technical writers are responsible for writing the technical documents, like how what to program, computer manuals, and all those things. You have the quality assurance professional, and you have the database administrator. So, who is supposed to do what? How are the responsibilities delegated? This can be addressed using something called a RACI metrics. So, RACI stands for responsible, accountable, consultant, and informed. So, the person responsible for the project, who is that? We can allocate that responsibility to that person. Who is accountable for the project to get done? Who are we consulting? Are we consulting some subject matter experts? Are we consulting external consultants? These are the consultant people. And then the informed people are usually the stakeholders of the project. Those are the ones we are informing what exactly is happening. So as a business analyst, how do you deal with subject matter experts? Because they are experts in their own field, so we should be prepared to deal with them. So keep your interactions with them short and to the point. Put yourself in their position and learn their business area. When you approach them, establish a rapport. Keep it in their world. So if a SME is expert in a particular area, it's better to keep the discussion in that area. Try not to distract or go off to another direction. So it will be better if we can keep the discussion in their matter of expertise. Proactively notify them about the project and what it's all about. So the moment a project starts, or even before the project starts, we have to start working with the subject matter experts because they can give us guidance on how the project should be launched and keep it simple. Knowledge areas. So as to function as a business analyst, you have all these different knowledge areas that need to come together. You have to extract information or use the expertise from different knowledge areas for a project to be successful. So the different knowledge areas are business analysis, planning and monitoring. So they describe the task that business analysts perform to organize and coordinate the efforts of business analysts and stakeholders. Elicitation and collaboration. This is extremely important. You are eliciting or you are extracting information from the key stakeholders, and that's this process. Only if you get the right requirements, you can design a system. Requirements lifecycle management. These are the tasks that business analysts perform in order to manage and maintain requirements and design information from inception to retirement. These tasks describe establishing meaningful relationships between related requirements and designs, assessing, analyzing, and gaining consensus on proposed changes to requirements and designs. That means to simply gather the requirements is not enough. We have to establish a relationship between the different requirements, and only then we can propose a change to the system. And this has to be approved by everyone involved in the project team. Unless you are on the same page, the project will be a disaster. So everybody has to agree on the proposed changes. Everyone must know what the requirements are and how to implement them. Strategy analysis describes the business analysis work that must be performed to collaborate with stakeholders in order to identify a need of strategic or tactical importance. Requirements analysis and design definition. This basically just means that once you get the requirement, you have to analyze them, you have to validate them, you have to verify them, and then you can design the system and give a definition for the design. Solution evaluation. This is extremely important. The task that business analysts perform to assess the performance of and value of a delivered by a solution in use by the enterprise and to recommend removal of barriers or constraints that prevent the full realization of the value. So you describe a solution, you design a solution, and you have to make sure that this is the right solution. And we have to analyze if there are any obstacles or barriers to achieving this solution. So we have to remove those barriers so that we can implement that solution. So this is the diagram that shows the relationship between the different knowledge areas. So as you can see, this is a two-way information stream. So every knowledge area has to work with one another to achieve the solution. You can see the information is flowing both in and out of the system. Task. What is a task? It's actually a simple definition. The regular definition of a task is we have something to do. This is the same here. A task is a discrete piece of work that may be performed formally or informally as part of a business analysis. Okay, and each task must be presented in a certain way. The task must have a purpose, it must have a description, inputs, elements. You should have the proper guidelines and tools to implement that task. Then you should have the techniques and you should know who the stakeholders are. And then finally you get the output of that task. So as I described earlier, there are different methodologies or perspectives using which business analysis can be done. In what context are you doing the business analysis? So some of the most popular contexts are agile, business intelligence, information technology, business architecture, or business process management. So these are not the only perspectives that we can use for business analysis. There are many other perspectives as well. And also these are not mutually exclusive, which means that all these perspectives can be used in combination with one another to achieve the process of business analysis. So perspectives have the following structure. They can change scope, they can business analysis scope, methodologies, approaches and techniques, underlying competencies, impact on the different knowledge areas. So then we come to the most important part of business analysis, the core concept model, the BACCM. So it's actually a framework for conducting business analysis in any organization. So there are 6 core concepts in the BACCM model. These are the change, the need, solution, stakeholder, value, and context. So each core concept is an idea fundamental to the practice of business analysis, and all of them are necessary. So they are very instrumental to understanding the type of information that's being extracted, analyzed, or managed in business analysis. So how can we use the 6 concepts of business analysis, the core concepts? They can be used to describe the profession and domain of business analysis, communicate about business analysis with a common terminology, evaluate the relationships of key concepts in business analysis, perform better business analysis by holistically evaluating the relationships among these 6 concepts. Evaluate the impact of these concepts and relationships at any point during a work effort in order to establish both a foundation and a path forward. So these are the ways in which we can use these 6 concepts. So this again is the relationship between the core concepts of business analysis, stakeholders, needs, changes, and solutions. So as you can see, all of them are connected with each other. None of them are isolated or independent of each other. All of them have to work together for the successful completion of that project. So this is a practical example of the requirement and how we are going about designing that requirement. For example, the stakeholder approaches you with the requirement, and this requirement is view 6 months sales data across multiple organizational units in a single view. So he wants to view the sales data of multiple organizations in a single web page. So how do you go about it? So the design would be the sketch of a dashboard. For another organization, the management wants to reduce the amount of time required to pick and pack a customer order. Let's say you are Amazon and you want to reduce the time that is required to pack a certain order once you get the order. And so how can you do that? By changing the process model, by changing the business process model, you can reduce the time for packing. Record and access a medical patient system. If you have a hospital, for example, now can you do that? Screen open showing specific data fields. Develop business strategy goals and objectives for a new business. So you can develop a business capability model. Or finally, if you are something like Cambridge or something, you are providing some English classes. This is another example. Provide information in English and French. So how can you do that? Prototype with text displayed in English and French. So here you can clearly see, and regardless of the company or organization, you have different types of requirements, and all of these can be translated to a certain design within the organization that satisfies the requirement. So we already looked at what business analysis is, what are requirements. So the next step is we have to understand how these are documented, how these requirements that we extracted from the management or from the stakeholders, how are we going to document them. So there are different types of documentation which can be used for this purpose. Textual, for example, stories that summarize specific information. You can have metrics. That's a table which shows the different types of requirements with priorities. Diagrams. You can have diagrams that shows how data flows from one structure to another. A wireframe. Wireframe, how elements are required in a website. So people from computer science department, they might know this, how things are displayed in a website. You can use wireframes to create them. Models. Modeling is very common these days regardless of department, whether it be mechanical or civil or whatever. You can use 3D models that can show different types of requirements. We can visualize them in a 3D way. So the most important document is the business requirement document. So the BRD, as it's called, it's a high-level business needs document. So it is used to get an agreement among stakeholders. It can be used to communicate the technology to server provider, the business needs, the customer needs, and what the solution needs to do to satisfy the business and the customer needs. So determine the input to the next phase of the project. Describe in details of the needs of the customer and business that the solution needs to meet. So basically, in layman terms, the business requirement document has all the requirements written in it. And this is the one that the business analyst prepares and he passes this on to the programmer so he can understand what to program. Another one is the functional requirement document. It is a formal statement of an application's functional requirements. So the business requirement document or BRD describes the requirements, whereas the FRD describes the functional needs. The developers agree to provide the capabilities specified. So if you are a developer, you are looking at the FRD and then you decide which capabilities are needed. Do I need a new credit card application? Do I need a new language in the website or something like that? So they can understand this document. And the client agrees to find the product satisfactory if it provides the capabilities specified in the FRD. So the client looks at the FRD and they want to make sure that the programmers they are actually developing what's specified in the FRD. Only then the client will be satisfied. So this is the requirements and design side. So in the business requirements, you have why do I want it? Why do I need something? There should be a rationale for wanting something. Then you have the stakeholder requirements. What are the needs of the stakeholders? And solution. What do I want? What do I need to accomplish using the system? And transition requirements. What are the conditions? What are the circumstances? What resources I have to accomplish this requirements? So you have the design and the assessing the outcomes. So this is the cycle. So this cycle continues until the required solutions are met. So process and software requirements traceability. The thing is, if you are a big company, you can have a lot of requirements. So it's easy to lose track of the requirements. If I get lost, you will get confused. So we have to keep track of the requirements so that we have to make sure from beginning to end, we are keeping track of all the requirements and the documents. So we can start from the bottom. We have a task, an activity, a sub-process, business process, and a value chain. That's the process traceability. You can trace that process. Or you can trace a software requirement. So you have the business needs, the business requirement, the stakeholder requirement, the solution requirement. So you can trace all these things. And what do you do with them? As described earlier, you design the system, then you code the system, and finally you test the system to make sure it is working. So as in every other field, there are multiple softwares that can be used for this purpose. Some of the common ones are Microsoft Visio. This can be used to create models and describe use cases for requirements. So all these tasks that we described earlier can be visualized using Microsoft Visio. Then for another common software for handling requirements is rational requisite problem. Some of the others are Balsamic, Trello, and Smart. So these softwares are commonly used for business analysis. Underlying competencies. So you need to have some basic competencies and basic skill to perform business analysis in a company. So what are those competencies? They are business knowledge, communication skill, interaction skill, tools and technology, especially in the software industry, you must be very adept at using technology and tools for conducting a successful business analysis. Analytical thinking and problem solving, behavioral characteristics. Because when you design a new system, changes will happen and people are resistant to change. So you have to be aware of what is sexual behavior, how your people will respond to changes happening in the system. And you have to make sure that everybody is on the same page, there is consensus. Or else you will have some bottlenecks going forward. Techniques. So, how do you actually elicit information or extract requirements from the concerned stakeholders? There are several techniques for that. Some of them might be already familiar to most people. Brainstorming, business capability analysis. Another one is business cases. So even in the MBA department, we are teaching about business cases. So these are like the real life scenarios that happened in the past. So we are putting people into the shoes of someone who's been in that situation. And we see how they respond to that situation. So this is kind of a role play simulation. So you can use business cases for extracting requirements. Business model canvas, you can use business modeling. Business rules analysis, collaborative games, data modeling, data mining. So this is by no means all the techniques that are used for business analysis. It's actually very, very fast. There are several other methodologies that can be used. So finally, I would like to conclude by saying that business analysis wants to achieve the following outcomes. The most important thing, the priority is to create solution. Create solution to business problems. You have some business problem, you have to design a solution that fits the needs of the stakeholders. Giving enough tools for robust project management. So if you are in project management, you need certain tools and you need to understand what tools I need to complete this task. And that can be understood by doing a business analysis. Improve efficiency and reduce waste. Provide essential documentation like BRE, such as project initiation documents. Only if you have the proper documentation, you can go from one phase to another and successfully complete that project. So that's all for my presentation today. Thank you. And I'll take any questions.
I want to I believe you want to say it.
Yes, sir.
So I am learning what you are saying. You also
Yes, yes. Yeah, I was working for Western Union. So mostly it was like financial services. So we were working on, they were actually implementing a new credit card system. So they were trying to implement new capabilities, and since this was in the United States, we needed to have multiple languages, English, Mandarin, Spanish. So that was the priority at the time, to have this capabilities input into the system, and also make sure people from different languages, they can select and see what the new schemes are. So every day we used to have meetings in the morning, like 6 a.m. in the morning, because the developers are in India. The developers are in India. So the developers usually are in India, as you can imagine. So the daily task was to get up in the morning, because at 6 a.m. we have a meeting, online conferencing meeting. So the top management usually tells us what went wrong the last day, how exactly things happen, and they have some. They won't give the requirements in the meeting, but they give feedback. So the developers can understand what's happening in the United States. And then once we get to the office, then we have some meetings, and they will go through the process. And they are not really bothered about the business analyst. They just, because this is not, they are not there for you, so they don't actually tell you that. That's the tricky part. The business analyst doesn't actually gather the information; he has to extract. They don't exactly tell you point by point what we require from the system. They just sit there and discuss with each other. So I used to take a recorder and record what they are saying, so I can listen later and also understand point by point, because otherwise I'll miss something or something will be lost. So we have to do this process the entire time, multiple cycles. That took about 6 months, the entire project cycle to implement this new credit card system. I don't think so. No, there is a business analyst certification.
So I think someone interested in this career could take that certification and start working as a business analyst. Actually, MBA is not compulsory, but I think it would be good. It would be very good for the career. I have used Microsoft Visio, Microsoft Visio, Microsoft Pro. These are all commonly used.